The top thing you need to know about MSC Seascape before you book it is that this is a family cruise. If you do not have a family, you need to really love kids to be on this boat. It is a fantastic family cruise. This and more tips coming up. And if you're new here, yo, I'm Christine Lozada with Where in the World is CL, and I make travel videos every week to help you get up, get out, and go travel. So if you like to travel, consider subscribing. I am on MSC Seascape right now. Number 14 is that this is a family-friendly cruise, and number 13 is that it feels like a budget cruise experience, but did not feel like a budget price. In other words, I am on a 7-night sailing out of Miami, going to Puerto Rico, the Dominican Republic, and the Bahamas. And this is the price I paid for a deluxe balcony room. It's not a cheap cruise, but it's not the most expensive cruise either, but it feels like a budget experience. April, you have an opinion about what makes it feel like a budget experience? I would say the top reason why it feels like a budget experience is primarily around the food experience, which we'll talk more about in a later tip. Number 12, oh, you gotta know this because you need to prepare yourself before you get on this cruise. The muster is awful. The muster is an absolute cluster, as a matter of fact, and it's the first thing that you will do as soon as you get onto the cruise. It is quite an experience, and so my tips for you is 1, know that it's going to be a frustrating experience. 2, have a fully charged phone to look at while you are standing in lines, because that will happen for a very long time. 3, bring a fan. Bring a fan because you are required to be in the stairwell with a lot of people for a very long time, and it's very hot, very uncomfortable, and if you're at all claustrophobic, it is going to bother you. But prepare yourself mentally for the muster. Number 11 is get ready to listen up and listen long, because the announcements will happen all day long, are extremely long, have way more information, including stories that are irrelevant for you to know, and they are made in many languages. So just get ready for the announcements. By the way, I'm keeping it super honest with you right now. So if you're getting some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. And if you have been on MSC Seascape, please share your tips and experience in the comments below. We're all a community, and this video is really meant to help people like myself avoid an experience that I wish I otherwise would not have had. This cruise is fantastic for some travelers, especially families. But if you do not have a family and you do not love being around kids, especially after midnight in the nightclub while dancing, then this might not be the right cruise line for you. Number 10 is about losing weight. You might lose weight on this cruise. And actually, they have a really fantastic gym experience. A lot of people come onto cruises to eat, to have a really great eating experience. And I would say a couple things. 1, if you're at the buffet, it's a lot of the same things all the time. And not only that, because there are just not that many food options around the ship, everyone is at the buffet. So the lines and the crowds are just really intense. It's overwhelming, and it's frustrating to be able to eat at the buffet. But the ranch dressing is some of the best ranch dressing I've ever had. I have been putting ranch on things that ranch are not supposed to go on, but it's really delicious. But around the ship, there's just not that many food options unless you are doing the specialty dining experience, which if you are, you must have reservations. Even if they are not at 10% capacity, they will not allow you to dine at specialty restaurants unless you have a reservation. Number 9, the entertainment is pretty good. The entertainment is good, but it's family friendly. And so you're going to get the comedian telling family friendly jokes. You're going to get the family, it's a different kind of entertainment. It is entertaining, and there are some fantastic singers on board. I love the juggler, and the jazz singer is amazing. Beautiful spaces for this entertainment, but if you're trying to listen to beautiful jazz while sipping a really nice red wine, wine, you're going to have kids screaming and running around in the background. And so I'm just letting you know that that's what it's like when you're enjoying the entertainment, but the entertainment on board is good. Number 8 is around the nightclub experience. And I will admit that we had recommended to our friends that they absolutely go on this cruise because you can bring your kids to the nightclub. I stood in line behind kids at the bar. There are toddlers on the dance floor. They are all there after midnight and they are choosing songs that are family friendly. But the nightclub experience is not an adult experience. So if you want a club-like atmosphere, you like to dance, this is probably not the ship for you. You should come sail with me on Virgin Voyages because I'm there a lot, and sweet deals on that cruise in the description below. These next two are things I really, really loved. Number 7, do not miss the slide. There are 3 slides on board on MSC Seascape. One of them is the option to go down the slide in an inner tube, and you can do it solo or you can do it with somebody, and it's really, really fun with music and lights inside of the water slide, and there's a really good drop right at the end, and you will literally be screaming and laughing the entire time. The slide is something to not miss on MSC Seascape, and one thing to consider, do it on a day that the boat is at port. When most people have gotten off the ship, that is your moment to, on repeat, do the water slide. That's what I did. Literally Stairmaster workout. It's on the 21st deck to be able to go down the water slide. A phenomenal experience that should not be missed. Number 6 that I truly, truly loved is the drink package experience. It is 100% worth it, and also one of the least expensive drink packages I have ever experienced. I love sailing with some of these cruise lines, and the drink package here is very, very affordable. The premium drink package will get you anything up to $16, which is the majority of what's on there, and their wine list selection really is awesome. And at all of the bars, they tend to have really great selection. In other words, on other cruise ships, sometimes it's like, oh man, only that bar has that wine list, or I have to walk all the way across the ship to be able to get this style of champagne. But they tend to have a very good selection across every single bar. Number 5, the ship itself. The ship itself is interesting. I'll say that since this is a new ship, it feels very brand new and nice. The design in some spaces are interesting. In other words, it hasn't been designed in a way to easily allow people to pass through spaces. So you will oftentimes find yourself jammed up, feeling like you're mustering yet again and in line around a million people. And so there's some design considerations on this boat that just pain me because I'm constantly waiting behind people or in line or feeling very squished to move through spaces. But it is a new ship, which is really nice. The pools are so-so. There are very, very few adults only areas on the ship. One of them is the infinity pool, which is not an infinity pool because they don't actually fill it up all the way, which is kind of an odd experience. But the pools are so-so. They are at a very low level. The ship itself is very brand new and nice. Some of the spaces are beautiful. The loft where they have jazz is really beautiful. The nightclub, I love the lights, the sound, the setup of the nightclub. And so you will find some really awesome spaces, but you will oftentimes feel kind of crammed as you're moving around the boat. Room upgrades. Room upgrades are a must. I will say this is one of the best rooms that I've stayed in on a cruise. I really enjoy that the deluxe balcony room, I'm specifically in room 14231, which location on the ship has been fantastic for me. And I love that there's a couch in this room, that we have an outdoor space, and even the bathroom feels spacious. And so this room has been really pleasant to be in. On day 1, I went to the yacht club and I tried to upgrade my experience. You have the option for Oria or the yacht club experience, which are the more elevated experiences, but they are at full capacity. And I'm actually thankful I didn't, because one of the things that and I did not have a positive
customer experience at the yacht club.
One of the things that he told me was there are so many kids on the boat and at the yacht club that they are at capacity. And that's not what I'm looking for. So if that's something you are looking for, consider that. It's supposed to be an elevated experience. I tried to enjoy it on this trip. I was about to say I'll try it on a future trip, but I definitely do not recommend this boat unless you are a family and with children. Number 3, this one I'm excited about. They do have pickleball on this ship. I think it's a newer thing for them. They don't even spell it correctly. They call it pickleball game, which is pretty funny. But there's only 1 court. But if you are curious about pickleball, it's great because there's lots of new people here getting into the sport. But there are plenty of good players on board as well. On my experience, I've been playing with the same 3 people all the time who brought their paddles. We've been having some competitive and fun games. But if you want to know more about pickleball, consider checking out the other video in the description below. Don't forget, if you have a helpful tip, add it in the description below and check out the discounts that you can get on this cruise in the description. Number 2 is around the type of people on board. This is a very international crowd. In other words, if you didn't know, MSC is a European cruise line, so you will get a lot of people from all over the world, which is cool because you can experience other cultures. You'll hear a lot of other languages, menus, and all of the signage is in multiple languages, and the announcements that you'll hear all day long are also in all of the languages. And the number 1 thing to know, which is my favorite thing about MSC, is that you will experience amazing service. The staff on board here has been phenomenal. And we have had amazing experiences with our waiters and waitresses. We see the same people all the time. Thank you to Kent for all of the amazing champagne at the cocktail bar, to Tristan for a really great workout and stretching classes at the gym, and so many others. So you can expect to experience really great service. And even though gratuities tend to be included, we always bring additional gratuity to show our thanks to the staff, and we encourage you to do the same. If there's some value out of this video, cheers that like button, consider subscribing. Check the description for more helpful tips. And if you have questions like, oh my gosh, wait, I want to hear more about the food or the ship or the other experiences, check out the other video. We are brutally honest with our experience. And it's not because we want to dissuade you. This cruise is an amazing cruise line, and Seascape is a really great cruise for a lot of people. But as a smart traveler, or as someone who wants to be a smart traveler, I value other people's opinions, and it helps me to make an informed decision about what's right for me. And I want you to make the right and informed decision for you so that you can have the best trip possible, because we all should travel the world more. Check out those other videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.